Hari Om everyone. So we will first begin the chanting by chanting all the 12 shlokas that we chanted last week of the chapter 1. And then to continue further, we will go on to from shloka 13 onwards, for which I will be calling out names and then you can repeat after me. So let us start with the chanting of the first 12 shlokas. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय सञ्जय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम् व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत् पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीं च व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुनसमायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः धृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च शैभ्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्त उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तान्निबोध द्विजोत्तम नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितम् पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम् अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागमवस्थिताः भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि तस्य सञ्जनयन् हर्षं कुरु वृद्धः पितामहः सिंहनादं विनद्योच्चैः शङ्खं दध्मौ प्रतापवान्. With this we finish the 12 shlokas of last week. So we will take up the 13th shloka onwards. So as I see on my screen, Smita ji, I see you the first. So could you please unmute and repeat after me?
Yeah.
ततः शङ्खाश्च भैर्यश्च
ततः शङ्खाश्च भैर्यश्च
पणवानकगोमुखाः
पणवानकगोमुखाः
सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त
सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त
सशब्दस्तु मूलोऽभवत्.
सशब्दस्तु मूलभवत्.
I will chant the shloka once and then you can read out the meaning.
Okay.
ततः शङ्खाश्च भैर्यश्च पणवानकगोमुखाः सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्दस्तु मूलोऽभवत्.
Thereafter, conches, kettle drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns suddenly blared forth, and their combined sound was overwhelming.
Thank you, Smitaji. Next, I am seeing Padmaji. Padmaji, will you please chant? ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
महति sorry
did not repeat ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव
माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः.
I'll chant the shloka once and then you can read the meaning, Padmaji. ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः.
Then from amidst the Pandava army, seated in the glorious chariot, drawn by white horses, Madhav and Arjun blew their divine conch shells.
Next, Savitri ji, could you please chant?
Okay, madam.
पाञ्चजन्यं ऋषिकेशो
पाञ्चजन्यं ऋषिकेशो
देवदत्तं धनञ्जय
देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः
पौण्ड्रं दध्मौ महाशङ्खम्
पौण्ड्रं दद्मौ महाशङ्खम्
भीमकर्मावृकोदरः
भीमकर्मावृकोदरः
पाञ्चजन्यं ऋषिकेशो देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः पौण्ड्रं दध्मौ महाशङ्खम् भीमकर्मावृकोदरः.
Okay, ma'am.
Please read.
Harikesha blew his conch shell called Panchacharya, and Arjuna blew the Devadatta, Bhima, the various eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his mighty conch called Poundra.
Thank you. Krishna ji, could you please unmute?
Yeah.
Ananta Vijayam Raja
Ananta Vijayam Raja
Kuntiputro Yudhishthiraha
Kuntiputro Yudhishthiraha
Nakulas Sahadevascha
Nakula Sahadevascha
सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ
Sugoshamani Pushpaka
अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तिपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सहदेवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ. Please read the meaning.
King Yudhishthir blew the Ananta Vijay, while Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Mani Pushpak.
Thank you, Krishnaji. Next I am seeing Kusumaji. Would you chant or should I take up Shubhaji?
She wanted
Shubhaji?
to listen. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Shubhaji, could you please unmute?
Yes.
काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः
काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः
शिखण्डी च महारथः
शिखण्डी च महारथः
दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च
दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च
सात्यकिश्चापराजितः
सात्यकिश्च पराजितः
काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः धृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकिश्चापराजितः.
The excellent archer and king of Kashi, the great warrior Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virat, and the invincible Satyaki.
Ramaji, could you please unmute?
Yes.
Drupado Draupadeyaಶ್ಚ
Drupado Draupadeyaश्च
सर्वशः पृथिवीपते
सर्वशः पृथिवीपते
सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः
सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः
शङ्खान् दध्मुः पृथक् पृथक्
शङ्खान् दद्मुः पृथक् पृथक्
द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथिवीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः शङ्खान् दध्मुः पृथक् पृथक्.
Drupad, the five sons of Draupadi, and the mighty armed Abhimanyu, son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells, O ruler of the earth.
We are done with everyone, so I will come back to Smitaji. Smitaji, could you please unmute?
Yes.
सघोषोधार्तराष्ट्राणाम्
सघोषोधार्तराष्ट्राणाम्
हृदयानि व्यदारयत्
हृदयानि व्यदारयत्
नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव
नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव
तुमुलोऽभ्यनुनादयन्
तुमुलोऽभ्यनुनादयन्
सघोषोधार्तराष्ट्राणाम् हृदयानि व्यदारयत् नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलोऽभ्यनुनादयन्.
The terrific sound thundered across the sky and the earth and shattered the hearts of your sons, O Dhritarashtra.
Padmaji, could you please unmute?
Yes.
अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा
अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा
धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः
धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः
प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते
प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते
धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः
धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः
अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः.
At that time, the son of Pandu, Arjun, who had the insignia of Hanuman on the flag of his chariot, took up his bow.
Thank you. Savitri ji, please unmute.
Okay, madam.
Arjuna uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम्
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम्
इदमाह महीपते
इदमामः पातते
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
रथं स्थापयमेच्युत
रथं स्थापयमेच्युत
अर्जुन उवाच ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत.
Arjuna then spoke the following words to Sri Krishna, O infallibly one, please take my chariot to the middle of both armies.
Krishna ji, would you please unmute?
Yeah.
यावदेतान्निरीक्षेऽहम्
यावदेतां निरीक्ष्येऽहम्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
कैर्मया सह
योद्धव्यम्
कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम्
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
यावदेतान्निरीक्षेऽहम् योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे.
so that I may look at the warriors arrayed for battle, whom I must fight in this great combat.
Ramaji, could you please unmute?
Yes.
योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहम्
योत्स्यमानानवीक्षेऽहम्
य एतत्र समागताः
य एतेऽत्र समागताः
धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेर्
धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेर्
युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः
युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः
योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहम् य एतेऽत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेर्युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः.
I decide to see those who have come here to fight on the side of the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra, wishing to please him.
I think, sir, would you like to repeat the last shloka?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Sanjaya Uvacha
Sanjaya Uvacha
Eva Mukto Rushikesho
Yeva Mukto Rushikesho
Gudhakeshena Bharata
Budakeshena Bharata
Senayorubhayor Madhye
Senayorubhayor Madhye
Sthapayitva Rathottamam
Sthapayitva Rathottamam.
Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Mukto Rushikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayorubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam.
Sanjaya said, O Dhritarashtra, having thus been addressed by Arjun, the conqueror of sleep, Sri Krishna then drew the magnificent chariot between the two armies.
So with this, we come to the end of the chanting. So we have stopped right at the time where the chariot is in between the two armies. So next week onwards, the question and answers will start. So yeah. Sir, we can go to the contemplation now.
Yeah, but before we jump, does anyone have any question or any suggestion in the how we are learning the chanting? Or does anyone need any additional help? Great. Okay. So looks like there is none. So we'll go to the contemplation.
So last week, I think Smitaji was going to share and we stopped the session.
Correct. So we'll begin.
Who is Krishna to you? And I think Shubhaji also was not there last week, so she can also maybe share.
Would you like to begin, Smitaji?
Hari Om, I had the opportunity to spend some time on the video up to the first part of what is written as Adhibhautika, Adhidaiva and Adhyatmika. And Krishna to me, as Padmaji I think mentioned, is that you see in yourself or you see in others. Even while like today doing the meditation or the breathing, your mind wavers, but then there is something that tells you to come back to that position again. Or even when you're working and you're distracted, something tells you to come back. So the distraction is or the self-doubt, oh, am I able to do this, is the Arjuna. And then there's something telling you, either it is internal or external, telling you to come back to that position, is what we have to develop. Otherwise we will not always be in the same self-doubt position. That is Krishna. And many a times, sometimes that is where a teacher comes in, or a guru comes in and tells us what we have to do. That is Krishna for me. That's how I see it.
Excellent. Very nicely put. Is there anything more you would like to share, Smitaji?
No, that's all.
For that
I
question.
also, aside, I also had an opportunity to visit in this holiday of the auspicious Deepavali to Udupi Sri Krishna at the very same time. So it was a very
Divine
good
providence,
moment.
divine
So,
coincidence.
and it was at that when this question was playing in my mind and how I see it actually. So that break that the question stopped at me last time, I actually helped me to contemplate how I see this.
Excellent. Thank you, Smitaji.
Thank
Shubhaji?
you.
The first question or all 4 questions?
First question. Who is Krishna to you?
Okay, yeah. Krishna to me is the supreme being who guides me in every step I take. And that Krishna is none other than the consciousness inside, the consciousness and the self. So for me, Krishna is not outside. He's there inside me, which is my own self. That's what is Krishna doing. And how many Krishnas are there? Krishna as Adhibhautika, we all know it is our history. Krishna was there as he was the king. He was the son of Devaki and Vasudev, and we all know the story of Krishna. So it's Krishna is a historical figure, and Krishna is our past. So when it comes to Adhidaivika, Krishna is the avatar of Vishnu, and to start with, we start Krishna as Adhidaivika only. So for us to know, we can't just, all of us will not know that Krishna is our self. So we look at Krishna as somebody who is very supreme to other than us. And then once we start getting all these jnana of Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta, that is when we realize that Krishna is not outside, rather Krishna is inside us. So we should focus more on Krishna as Adhidaivika and slowly get into Krishna as Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika, who is that? The Atma, the Krishna, which is our self, the consciousness. So that is what is my understanding in brief. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shubhaji. Others have actually shared only on the first question, which is who is Krishna to you? So anyway, today we will be listening to them about, how do they see these 3 variations of Krishna. But before we go there, has everyone other than Padmaji shared about this question, who is Krishna to you? Then Padmaji, what is your view?
Sir, I also shared last week. Yeah, only you and Smitaji were remaining last week. So
okay.
Yeah.
So we can see Krishna in various stages, as we can have a different relationship with Krishna in different stages of our own life, which is what you can also see in the case of Arjuna. So Arjuna began the relationship with Krishna as a sakha, as a friend. So then he moved on to even calling him as a bandhu. And then he realized during the Mahabharata war that there is something far more deeper in Krishna, which when you look at it, he is the only fellow, Krishna, even before his birth, somebody wanted to kill him. And all through his childhood, somebody wanted to kill him. So all through his life, he's only going through nothing but people who want to murder him, kill him, bring some kind of a disgrace to him. But in spite of all such, how do you see him? You see him smiling, laughing, running around, having fun in spite of all that. So that is when Arjuna must have realized that there is something this fellow knows that I don't. So then he began the relationship with Krishna as a teacher, Shishya and Guru. And that becomes much deeper when Arjuna realizes that Krishna is none other than that essence that is in me, that is in you, that is in everything that is there. So from someone who's outside with whom you can have a relationship to that which is the essence of this existence is referred by Krishna. And the very word Krishna also means darkness. Quite strange, isn't it? Darkness. But if you look a little deeper, it is a darkness which doesn't really require anything, but it exists by itself. In terms of light, you need some source of light, whereas darkness is by itself. It is in that darkness that you need to bring a particular source of light and you need to power it. So, like that, there are various stages and various levels in which, one can relate to Krishna. But fundamentally, in your life, in my life, in all of our life, Krishna's existence appears as the right teacher, as a teacher who brings the right awareness. To begin with, in your life, it might have been your parents, your mother, your father, or in the school, somebody who taught you the right things. Of course, even the teachers who teach you about the language or the science or the history are also Krishna. However, the one who brings about awareness about you, about your true self, and the one who helps you come out of your own suffering. Because in life, suffering happens because of lack of clear understanding about who I am and what is my relationship to the world. Because the suffering starts as a friction between me and the world, is it not? And the one who removes that friction, because it is me and the world who have a friction. And what is the source of the friction which causes the suffering? That clarity has to emerge in me, in you, in each one of us. And then only suffering can end. So the one who brings the end of the suffering, how? By right teaching, by pointing to the truth. And that Sadguru is Krishna. Sadguru, Satguru, the one who teaches about the truth is Sadguru. So like that, Krishna operates at various levels. So before we move on to the next question, is there anyone who has any other question about what we have discussed so far? You've heard so many views. Not that any one of the view is completely correct, or not that any one of the view is completely incorrect. Each one has shared how they relate to Krishna, and each one is a beautiful relationship. But based on what all you have heard, and based on video also you might have seen, is there any particular question on Krishna? Who is Krishna to you? If not, then Padmaji, shall we begin the next one? Okay. So in the video, you might have heard about Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika, and Adhyatmika. So what do you understand by that? And how do you relate to Krishna in these three ways? So we can take up that question. That is a question B. How many Krishnas are there? And we can go one by one. So again, I'll call out based on the names that I'm seeing here. Krishna ji?
Yeah. So there are three. Yeah, I've seen the video, but I think last few 19 minutes are pending. Yeah, but this question covers. So there are three Krishnas. One is Adhibhautika, uh, who existed 5,300 years ago, and as a born as a physical person, and it has stood. And next is Adhidaivika, who is the form of Vishnu, and Adhyatmika is a through the form of uh, action. That's how I see it. And yeah.
What do you think is the significance of seeing Krishna in these different ways?
Uh, I think I need some time.
No problem. Yeah.
Just thinking.
Yeah. Please continue, and then we will listen to the other.
Yes.
Thank you, Krishna ji.
Thank you.
Savitri ji.
Okay, sir. There are three Krishnas. First one is Krishna as Adhibhautika and Adhidaivika and also Adhyatmika. Krishna was not an imaginary character, so he is real, and he was born, and also in the historical Krishna, he was born in Dwarka in 5,300 years ago. Devaki was his mother and Vasudeva was his father, that is Adhibhautika. And in Adhidaivika, he was avatar of Lord Narayana to preventing the destruction of negative forces. Bhagavan takes birth when there is lot of destructions in the earth. We worship Krishna in many temples because so many peoples gathered to worship Krishna in the temples. So many temples are to worship him, that is Adhidaivika. And in Adhyatmika, God is everywhere. Then 5 temples are builded in outer, because God is in, Krishna is in inner in the form of Atma in all of us. For society and community, outer will be builded to give service to Krishna, and yajnas are made to him. So people spend their time to find peace, ultimate meaning of God, to get Atmajnana, to offer service to the society, that is Adhyatmika. Lord himself came to the earth, that is inner Krishna realize in our heart is in the Adhyatmika. That is Guruji called as Atman Mokshat Jagadhitayach. to know myself as Paramatma, to serve the society. That is Adhyatmika. Bhagavad Gita focusing only to Krishnas, not Adhibhautika, only Adhidaivika and Adhyatmika. So here 3 types of Krishnas.
Wonderful, Savitriji. Very nicely put. What do you think is the significance? Why do we have to differentiate at these 3 levels and understand?
First stage, we are not in the, when we are not getting the Atmajnana or Jnana about the Bhagavad Gita, we are not understanding Krishna is in our inner of our body. So we are only seeing outside when in the temples and also when we reading the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, Krishna was there in the ancient period, but he is in our soul. We are not understanding, but only after we connecting with Atma Jnana, we are discussing or we are know that Krishna is in our soul. We are the part of the Krishna.
Wonderful. So to be able to bring that inner realization, first you need to connect from outside, is what you are saying.
So by getting Atma Jnana, we are trying to step by step to connecting Krishna is in our inner soul. So we are by Dhyana or many other Atma Jnana teachings, I try to see him in my soul and also in others' soul. So different peoples, he is also in the different peoples as me.
Very nice.
Trying to connecting him, sir.
Thank you very much, Savitriji.
Okay, sir.
Padma Amma, you share ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Would you like to share?
Yes, sir. ಆದಿಭೌತಿಕವಾಗಿ SR ರಾವ್ ಅನ್ನೋರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆರ್ಕಿಯಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರು ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ನಿಜ, ದ್ವಾರಕೆ ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಳುಗೋಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ನಿಜ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅವರು ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದು ನಂಬುವಂತಹದ್ದು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಮಾತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದಿದೈವಿಕ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ದ್ವಾಪರ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಷ್ಣುವೇ ಅವತಾರ ಎತ್ತಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣನಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಈ ಲೋಕವನ್ನ ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ಆದಿದೈವಿಕವಾಗಿ ನೋಡುವಂತಹ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ನೋಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ, ಯಾವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕೃಷ್ಣನನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಒಳಗಿನ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ನನಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಈ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅರಿವು ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಈ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವಾಗ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಚಂಚಲ, ಅದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗುವಂತಹದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಮನಸ್ಸು. ಅಂತಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ತಾನು ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಮೊರೆ ಹೋದಾಗ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಹಂಕಾರವನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಶರಣ ಆಗಿ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಮೊರೆ ಹೋಗಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಅಹಂಕಾರದ ಒಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ ಈ ಅರಿವಿನ ಬೆಳಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಅರಿವು ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಅದನ್ನ ಗುರುತಿಸುವಂತಹ ಶಕ್ತಿ ನಾನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟಾಗ, ಪ್ರಭುಜಿಗಳು ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಈ ಅರಿವು ಪ್ರಕಾಶಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ನೀನು ಹೀಗ್ ಮಾಡೋ. ಈ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪಲ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಉದ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವು ಮೊರೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ. ಆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನನ್ನ ಜಾಗೃತಗೊಳಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಸುಗಮವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ ಅಹಂಕಾರದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ನಾನೇ ಅಂತ ಭ್ರಮಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಹಾದಿ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನಿಜವಾದ ಅರಿವು, ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಅರಿವು, ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಇರುವ ಅರಿವು, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಅರಿವು, ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಗುರುತಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಈ ಮೂರರಲ್ಲೂ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಅದೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಅದೇ, ನಾನು ದೈವಿಕವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣುವಂತಹ ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಅದೇ, ಆದಿಭೌತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಅದೇ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದೇ ಇರುವುದು ತತ್ವ, ಅದೇ ಸತ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನ.
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ರಮಾಜಿ.
Namaste. So, I could listen to 1 hour of his Guruji's video. So, like Adhibhautika is like Krishna, an historical figure. He had a physical body and he had a family, and we can say it's not a mythology as many Westerners interpret that it's all mythological figure. There was no Krishna or something. The Westerners were interpreting earlier, but after research and when they found out actually the temple and in Gujarat, everything they found out physically, so they could understand that actually Krishna lived 5,000 years earlier with a family, with parents and everything. But more to say, it was a physical body, we can say that. Not when 3 Krishnas we mentioned, that Krishna is not taken into account. Mainly 2 Krishnas we give more importance to, like Adhidaivika and Adhyatmika. Adhidaivika is the divine God, the avatar of Vishnu, who came down to earth to give the spiritual knowledge to human mankind. Normally it is worshipped, everything is in external form. It's worshipped in temples. They offer prayers, service to mankind, seeing divine Krishna in all human beings, in all beings. It's an external practice. Even doing puja at home is also a way of doing Adhidaivika. It comes under Adhidaivika. So any spiritual knowledge has to be passed to humans only from Bhagavan. But beyond all this, we have to look at the Lord within us. That is Adhyatmika. And that divine spark which makes a human do his activities. To understand this, we need to meditate, contemplate on who am I really. The real self has to be understood, and that is the main purpose of the understanding of the self-knowledge is the main thing to be understood. This is brief of what I've understood.
Very nice. Wonderfully put. Thank you very much, Ramaji.
Thank you.
Hari Om Vaishnavi Amma. We've taken up this second question. How many Krishnas are there?
Namaste, sir. Hari Om.
Hari Om. All are sharing their views. I'll call out your name also.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Ramaji shared. Smita ji. Smita ji, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So as everybody explained the meaning what even Guruji has said in the video about Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika, and Adhyatmika. My interpretation of that is essentially all three are ways of establishing or believing in that truth of that consciousness. So without for different people, the history is again that belief that this exists, this Krishna existed as a person, as a child, as a family. So the words coming from somebody who existed is far more precious to you, or far more known, valuable to you, right? I mean, something my mother says versus I heard about it from her somewhere in social media. Whom will you rather believe? So that I see it like that. So that importance of that Adhibhautika is and removing away that myth that it is a mythology and did not exist is very important. So it's equally important to understand the Adhibhautika. While yes, we don't deal with it in this sessions, but that importance is equally has to be established. Again, the Adhidaivika is in the form of the service or the offerings, whether at the home or the temple, is to establish to keep that continuity and collective presence in a group, in a group, or in a or even at an individual. And sometimes when you don't get answers, or when you, even when you're talking to people, when you go to a temple and you just sit there, sometimes you get that connection. So it is a way of again establishing that truth, or when that wavering mind is there, wanting that space and time to come back to that. And of course the Adhyatmika is the inner self, uh, and developing that inner self. So I see that, and all three are equally important to keep that belief intact. That's how I see the interpretation of all the three variations of Krishna.
Wonderful. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much, Smitaji.
Thank you.
Hari Om Rupaji.
Hari Om, sir. Hari Om, everyone.
So we've taken up the second question and we are listening to everyone. I'll call out your name also. Vaishnavi ji, would you like to share?
So can I do this at the end of?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. No issues. How about Rupa ji? Is Rupa ji ready to share? On the second question, how many Krishnas are there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
According to the talk by Sadhguru Prabhuji, there are three Krishnas: Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika, and Adhyatmika. Adhibhautika is the Krishna, the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, who incarnated on earth. And Adhidaivika is the Krishna whom we worship in temples. And Adhyatmika Krishna is the Krishna in us. And who is Krishna to you? For me, Krishna is anyone who takes me towards the right path. I can see Krishna in each and every person who take me in the right direction. be it anyone, a small child also can be Krishna to me. That's all, Vijay.
Thank you, Rupaji.
Thank you.
Padmaji, would you like to share your view?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I think everybody has described very beautifully and differently what is Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika, and Adhyatmika as Krishna. How I connect this to what I am learning is Krishna has not only given the teachings to us as Bhagavad Gita, he has lived his life as the teaching. That is one of the point that comes forth for me, because like how you mentioned, right from the moment he was born, there was always someone who was killing him, who was creating various kinds of obstacles for him. So if we connect that to our lives also, we also have something or the other going on, some challenges, some obstacles are coming to us in our life situations. So how did he tackle all those situations? How did he overcome all those asuras in our life? Who are those asuras? Those asuras are not people like how we have seen in those stories with someone with horns and big head, 5 heads, 6 heads. But I think they are all the qualities within us which we need to overcome. Like we have jealousy, we have hatred, we have greed. All these qualities are the asuras that we need to overcome in our life. So if we look at Krishna, how did he overcome all these things? He was not worried. There was no anxiety. He was always stable and did what was essential to overcome all those asuras and win over them. So similarly, I think we also need to overcome all these qualities which are not doing us much good. So when we overcome all this, automatically, the qualities which embody Krishna will become more and more stable within us, will become more increased within us, like the sattvika gunas, or the need to help others, to see everyone with love, to see everyone with compassion. I think all those qualities will start becoming more within us. So, and how I see Adhidaivika is because of the way he led his life as an example to us, is why he is respected, loved, and revered so much. That is why we see him as a god, because he was able to overcome this. So, how do we get that Daivika quality within us? Is by overcoming all these aspects, negative aspects within us. And then we see that we are no one but him only inside. If we get rid of all these qualities which are not Krishnatva, then what is remaining within us is all the Krishnatva only. So that is how I connect all these three Krishnas that we are seeing in the scriptures, sir.
Wonderfully said, Padmaji.
Thank you, sir.
To share my views. So in the journey of life, each one of us have various kinds of situations. So some situations are what we call as nice, I want it. Some situations are what we call as I don't want it. Why is it there? So when something that happens that I don't like, I generally look for why it happened, depending upon what kind of a family environment or the social structure that I'm in. So many stories are told. Some people may say, you did a mistake. Some people may say, they did a mistake. Some people may say, it's all your karma. You must have done something and now it has happened. So imagine, I'm going on the road and an accident happens and, I lose a limb or a leg or whatever. Then, I need, when it is small incident, I don't need all these stories. When the life hits you, there are many situations each one of us have gone through. Loss of a loved one, or what I cherish the most, maybe money, position, or some kind of infamy, due to whatever circumstance of life. So all these kinds of situations are there in our lives in different proportions. For some it may be more, for some it may be less. But is there anyone who hasn't gone through any such problem? It's like when Gautami Buddhi came running to Buddha and said, please, I've heard you are the greatest teacher, and you have so many powers. Please bring my son back to life. And he asks, okay, I will bring him back, but please go and get a little bit of mustard from any house where they have not had a single death. So she runs to all the houses in that town, but she cannot find even one house where there has not been any death. That helps her realize that there is something that is quite natural in life. What comes must go. Like that, it is through deeper realization of the truth that you and I can live a life that is as peaceful as it is meant to be. Because peace is your very nature. Disturbance is something that you need to create and manage. They say, right? Stress management. It is something that is created, that's why you have to manage. So if you learn your true nature, then stress is a word that is out of your dictionary. So like that, in our life, there's a journey happening. And in that journey, we need the right kind of teaching. At the end of the day, please see, whatever that you are able to do, you're capable of doing, is because of a certain clarity of whatever that you are doing. And how have you developed that clarity? Through some process of learning. Whether it may be cycling, it may be working with a computer, working in the kitchen, whatever it may be. You have learned it because of some kind of a process of learning. Like that, how do I be peaceful? Though peace is my very nature, disturbance comes, and depending upon the circumstance I am in, I may get wrong teachings, because everything right from day one is a teaching in a way. Right from the time you are born, constantly the society is trying to teach you. That is the first thing that all of us do, no? If you see a child, all of us are interested in catching hold of that child. Come, I'll teach you something. All of us are really interested to teach that child. We forget that, it is from the child that I need to learn. Because what is that I need to learn from the child? The child is joyous. The child is the one who's constantly running around, happy, jumping up and down. Currently in my home, there are some relatives, and they have a small child. And yesterday they had been to visit so many places, right from morning till evening. And when they all came back home, I could see in the child, oh, what is the next game? Come, let's play a ball game. But the others were, oh, we had a long day. I have to go and freshen up. It was written on the face. So the child is constantly brimming with energy. How does it happen? What am I supposed to learn? Am I supposed to teach? So like that, in life, there is something that we need to learn. And depending upon the stage of my own inner evolution, I can connect to Krishna. See, in life, we always begin learning something from the known. From the known only, you can go to the unknown. It's like, for example, if you've never seen, let's say, a mountain called Kailas Parvat, and if somebody comes and says, do you know Kailas? I don't even know what it is. Then I draw a blank face. Then, let's say somebody shows a photo, and let's assume I've never seen a mountain also. Then I'm flabbergasted what it is. Then somebody has to say, take me to a mountain, and say, look, this is a mountain. And then similar to that, this is another mountain. This is in another place. Then in my mind, some understanding starts happening. Then one day, I may also go there. Then I say, aha, oh, that was not a story. So like that, to learn something in life, we need to go from known to unknown. So that is where, if you see the beauty of the greatest science that has been offered to us, and the greatest science is the science of the inner self. And that science of the inner self has been designed by our rishis by knowing how human mind operates. Human mind goes from known to the unknown. If, let's say, the rishis had said, hey, listen to this, this has been revealed to me by God. You may, depending upon your family circumstance, have a faith, but depending upon your family, you may also have developed that all this is nonsense. Then how do you begin your journey? So therefore, like all of you rightly said, that there was a person called Krishna, and he did live through all these difficulties, is the most essential understanding to have. Because whatever he's teaching is not teaching something esoteric, something that is not relatable to your and my life circumstance. Whatever he's teaching, it is something that he himself was an embodiment of, like how Padmaji said. He lived through it, and what he found as the truth of life, he taught. And that truth happens to be unshakable. What is truth? That which cannot be modified, right? In one way of saying, truth cannot be modified. You can modify a lie, but a truth cannot be modified. So that which is unmodifiable, that which is unshakable, that which is on which rest of the things can be built, must be the way we navigate our life. So who you call as God, please examine your concept of God. Generally, you relate to that which you have a feeling that is always there, is always helpful, is always listening to you. That's why we want to tweak the husband or the wife to constantly listen to us. But anyway, that's a separate story. So coming back, so God is someone, who you want, you have a feeling that, someone who is constantly listening to you, who's calm, who's patient, who's peaceful, who's kind, loving. So to realize that that is who you truly are, you need a reference. So this historical Krishna as a reference, this divine form of as a reference, but much more than that is a living essence of that in your and my life as a role model. So Krishna as a role model is very important. Not only this Krishna, the historical Krishna or the divine Krishna, but a living Krishna is very important. And that living Krishna is the one who shows the Krishnatva within you and me. And that is how you become Krishna. So therefore, Krishna is not a mere character or a story. It is the very essence of you. Krishnatva, the aspect of Krishna is in you. So when you bring out the Krishna within you, doesn't mean that you also have to wear that crown and that flute, and then not in that sense. In the sense of the inner qualities. So these Krishnas at various levels, Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika, Adhyatmika, are the ways by which you can relate and you can evolve in your own journey. In my own journey, I need a reference point. All right. Is there any question or anything more that anybody likes to share?
Sir, Vaishnavi ji has to share also. Yeah, sorry, Krishna ji, please ask.
Yeah, Krishna ji, you can share something, whatever you wanted to share, and then Vaishnavi Amma can also share.
Yeah, sure. So I want to just put a summary of these three Krishnas, and how I say is that the Vishnu's form is Krishna is in everyone, and through the Adhyatmika, we have to connect our this physical with oneself with Krishna, and then lead this life. So that's how I interpreted. Yeah, that's I want to just add up to that.
Yeah. So it's essentially, Krishna ji, the inner awareness is who Krishna is. And all the divine qualities that he exhibited are your own powers. So seeing that aspect, realizing that aspect, and living that aspect is the Adhyatmika realization that you are that essence.
True. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna ji. Vaishnavi Amma?
Hari Om, sir. I understand the concept of Krishna and the bhava of Krishna in all of us to be a kind of role play. And if I am at the physical plane and I see what's going around, and I see myself as the sufferer, or the other person as the one that's causing the trouble. And so this is the physical plane that I understand, that I'm feeling the pain, feeling the joy, and I am privy to all of this. So I am there realizing all of this is me and not what is me. So and that way, and I feel that everything is at a physical plane, and and at an Adhidaivika point, I see that I am I am I am also, there is also this bhava in me. So there is everything around me is not separate from me, but it is all part of me. So I am not somebody away and watching it. I am part of the whole scene. So then I realized that I am the if I'm the problem, I am also the solution. And Adhyatmika is when you realize that none of this matters. And Krishna is the Krishnatva is something that I am able to attain, and I am at a very higher plane, at a spiritual plane, and I'm just observing what is going around. So I have realized that none of this actually bothers me, and I am at a plane where I can see and witness all of this without being affected. So those are the three. I think there are stages of evolution where this path is taking you through. I could be wrong, sir, but that is how I.
Excellent. Excellent. Again, this is not really right or wrong. It's a excellent or a wonderful viewpoint. They say, right? Ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti. The truth is one, but the known may relate to it in different ways. So, very nice. Very nicely put. Very nicely put. If I am the problem, I am also the solution. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anything else, either as a question or as a statement anybody has? Great. Then in our next session, we will be taking up question 2 onwards. Who's Arjuna, and then Sadhguru, yeah? So we'll also be chanting the next few shlokas. So let me end this contemplation